Welcome back to Plugged into DFW. John Riggins, president of the Better Business Bureau of Fort Worth and Tarrant County, joins me now with information to help protect you this holiday season and into the new year. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, we have just a few more days left of the holiday season and shopping. So let's talk about donating to a charity. Now, if you're donating online, how do you know that it's a legitimate charity?
Well, for over 100 years, the Better Business Bureau has tried to get charities to give us information so that we can help donors with that decision. We have standards that relate to that, and all these 20 standards are outlined in the public reports that we have on different charities. So it depends on what's important to the donor.
Okay.
Based on these 20 standards, they either give or don't give, whether these charities meet that standard or they don't meet the standard.
Okay.
So it's a great place to get information. We partner with an organization called give.org that takes care of national charities. And if you go to bbb.org and then give.org, you can get information for local charities and then national charities.
Sure, and then you can make your decision, like you said. So what should you do if you get a telephone call, someone asking you for a donation?
Well, you know, we all only have so much money that we can donate. And if you really want to give to that cause, then transparency is a big issue. And you want to know what's effective. You know, if what you want to do is help children or another country or something like that, or the homeless, you need to know by way of transparency how much money goes to the cause. Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the standards we have in these 20 standards for charities. And so people can check that out on our website, and the best place to go is to ask the charity, you know, what is your financial status? Can you give me a copy of your tax return from last year?
Okay.
And in that tax return, it will tell you how effective they were at their mission, at the actual money, the percentage of money going to their mission.
Okay. And why is it a good idea to make the check out to a charity versus an individual?
Well, that's always a good idea, and wiring is a little bit on the dangerous side too. You don't want to make making a check out is more traceable than cash. There are charities there are professional fundraisers allegedly representing charities that will tell you to put money under the doormat or throw it in your mailbox or that kind of thing. We'll come by and pick it up.
Wow.
Well, that's a red flag. You really can't use that as a deduction. Because it's not a proven charitable donation. So at that point, it's time to put up the red flags and do a little bit more research if they're asking you to do that.
Speaking of red flags, what's a sure sign that a charity is not legitimate?
Well, if you find one that's a copycat, specifically one that's trying to behave like another, who is well established and well transparent, does a good job at their line of work, and they just come in town and they may be new and you know, typically they show up and then they leave. Okay. So you know more after the fact actually, but if up front you can figure out that it's a copycat charity, that's one to stay away from.
And definitely go to the websites that you mentioned and check them out against the 20 different right. questions. Let's talk about sweepstakes scams. And what if you're told that you won a valuable prize, but you have to pay a fee up front?
Well, then you haven't really won anything, have you?
Right.
That's what we try to tell people every day at the Better Business Bureau. We get that call quite a bit. Free is exactly that. It's an unconditional gift. So if you've won something and it's free, then you have to pay for shipping. Well, it's not free. Mm-hmm. So just on that basis alone, if you've been told that, it's time to throw up the red flag and figure out who you're doing business with.
So I had gotten something on my cell phone that said my entry was selected and that I won something, and it says to reply back or call this number. How is that a scam?
It could very well be, even if it has a logo familiar to you associated with that, or a company logo, a company associated that you know. Mm-hmm. It might be from a bank that you do business with, for example. And if you get it by way of text, that's called smishing. There's something called phishing, and then there's smishing.
Okay.
Smishing is by way of text. Phishing is by way of email, where they try and get your personal identifiable information, and you may wind up losing your identity over it.
Wow.
So if you see that familiar logo, it's time to call that institution and say, hey, did you send this to me?
Okay.
Because over time, what has happened is identity theft has been able, by using phishing and smishing, to get people's IDs and order credit cards and the like, get merchandise in the names of people that they never know they've even ordered it. Their
Okay.
ID gets stolen.
All right. John, great advice. Thank you so much. Thank you.